Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today is going to be the start of me tearing apart the truck in order to install all of my parts that I have sitting around, or at least for the most part all of my parts that are sitting around. There's a few things I'm probably not going to have installed, like the fleece coolant bypass completely. I'm going to install the first half of it, but I probably won't get the back half, the back of the cylinder head done, just because I will wait until the transmission is out and I'm going to put my 48 in there. But as you can see, I did install my brake reservoir cover and my billet caps. I still need to figure out what to do about the cap for this. I don't know if I need to paint this white or if somebody makes a option that clips on billet or not. If you know, drop it in the comments below. But still waiting for Blake to come out with his mirror for this, and I'm really hoping he's still going to come out with something to cover all of this. I think that will be real nice. It'll bring everything together and get rid of all this. Now that's nasty, it's just not clean, I guess you'd say. Unfortunately, I believe whenever I install my coolant tank and remove my battery, I think I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this side, his fender brace. I love the fender brace, I absolutely love it, but I just don't think it's going to mix well with what it's going to look like over here. If I do install my coolant tank and I still have room for this, we might go ahead and leave it on. As for AC lines, I probably won't get those installed because I'm going to do it the correct way, where you have to drain the Freon out and then pull them off and put new ones on. I'd rather not have all that Freon go out into the ozone, I guess. I'm trying to think what else we gotta do. Coolant tank. I know the coolant tank, that's gonna be a little bit of a curve, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and try and get that installed as well. My biggest thing is the upper coolant, the upper coolant hose itself, my new one, the thermostat housing right here. I have a new thermostat actually over here from Murray. Logan, my buddy Logan Cutter suggested that, so that's what we're going to go with. It's actually, I think it's a 180 temp. I think what's in these, I don't know if it's a 180 or 190. It's in these trucks from factory. But I'm going to go ahead and install that, as well as I think I'm going to try and attempt to do my valve train, or part of the valve train at least. So here's all my parts that I need to install, and here is the valve train that I have, if you're wondering. I also have the tool in here. So as of right now, we're not going to swap out the hydraulic lifters as of yet, just because that's a huge job. I'm going to try. My goal is to try and push this engine as far as it can go. The lifters are, I was told by somebody, I'm not mentioning names, but the lifters are one of those. It's not if or when, it's not if they'll go out, it's when they'll go out. You can have them go longer if you maintenance your oil every 5,000 miles, and then you add in some FR3 friction reducer, which I have down here. If you add this in with your oil, when you do oil change, you know, obviously read the directions, follow the directions. Obviously, it's Hot Shots, Fire Punk. But add this in with a quality oil. I run AMS oil in this truck, and I think it's 12.1 quarts, I believe, is what it calls for. But run that every 5,000 miles, change it out, and I was told that it'll last. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to see how far we can push it, and then when it comes time to do the hydraulics, I'm going to go ahead and do the hydraulics. So I'm hoping to squeeze, at the end of this engine, I'm hoping to squeeze anywhere from 800 to 1,000 out of this engine. Right now, off the dyno at Wild Hoosiers event, the dyno read 548. It read 544, I believe, 548, and then 542, I believe, is what it read. Or 535 is the first one. So it was right in the 540s. But with this setup, it should be right at 600, so everybody's numbers are really low on that dyno, so I'm going to go ahead and assume that this is a 600 horsepower build as of right now. Something else that I'm going to be installing, I keep walking back and forth, but I'm going to go ahead and get this lift pump installed. As you can see, I have my Billet point blank performance bracket here. That's actually powder coated to my powder, thanks to Caden, KB Customs. And then I have my coolant tank here, my upper coolant neck, and then this box. For some reason, these billet parts, whenever we sprayed them, they came out a little bit darker, but I think it's going to be really nice. And so when I ordered this, it came blue because I ordered the wrong one. So this is a 3 3/4 or 3 7/8 inch hole for my sump. Yep, 3 7/8 for this sump, and these are -10 feeds. So this will move some fuel. And then to connect to all that, I have a bunch of AN fittings for days that I think will match up nicely, especially under the hood. And to go with that, I have a lot of AN line. But I think it'll be very clean once we get it all done today. Not sure how long this video is going to be, but I'm going to hopefully get some of the stuff torn down in the engine bay in here and possibly get my lift pump mounted up. I do want to take the DEF tank off because obviously this truck does not require DEF, but we'll see how far we get, and I will catch up to you whenever we make some progress. I really need to get a haircut. It's been a couple of days. I stopped working on it after that first day, and I had to order parts. This is what we have so far. Obviously, you can see I installed my upper coolant pipe and part of my fleece coolant bypass. I'm not going to put it on the back side of the head yet, so I did block it off right here, which it's just a -10 plug, or I guess cap, you would call it. But here's where we're at with the catch can. I don't believe this is exactly where it's supposed to be mounted to. Let me go ahead and get this off here. Today would be a great day to have done this because it's nice and windy out and it feels good. But as you can see, have it mounted up, mocked up where I believe it's going to end up being. I do need to get 2 new fittings, which I ordered. It's very tight clearance there, but I really can't go up too much higher with the coolant reservoir because it'll hit the hood struts whenever the hood struts close. Can't really do too much with that, but also, as you can see, I did lose my battery, which I'm going to try a couple things. I'm going to try to run it without the 2 batteries. If I had run into any issues, I guess I'll go ahead and put my second battery on, which if it comes down to it, we will, figure that out when it happens. But I'm going to see about converting this hardline over to an AN. The only problem I'm going to have, I think, is finding something to plug this. But I believe I'm going to try and run it to an AN fitting. So convert this to AN, run it around, and then back into this, which I do have a fitting for this. It's a 10 orb to -6 AN. But if anybody is wondering, these in a fleece coolant tank for a 13-18, these are all -10 ORB fittings, orb fittings, what do you want to call it. But, and then there is a coolant plug on the very bottom. Let me see, I believe it's over here. I have some heat tape for Caden, but here is the sensor. And it's a black and black wire, and I called fleece because these are both blacks, and the connector is different than that of the 2019s. So this is the 2019 and newers, and this is the 13 to 18s. But they told me that it's just basically just resistance, and they said all I should have to do is just cut this one and just wire it in. So basically that's what I'm going to end up doing, and that should take care of that. I also apparently need to buy a new can't think of it, heat wrap, because this one's a little messed up. It's not really cut there, but it's nicely cut through there. But probably go ahead and get a new one of those, I guess. I have the new AC line reroute to do. I'm going to take it to a shop and have them drain it. That'd probably be the easiest. And then I got to figure out all these battery connections and whatnot. But I'm waiting on fittings right now. And once the fittings come in, we should be good to go. I'm going to go ahead and take this off here so you can see how I ended up mounting it. Coolant tank's out. You can see there is my plate that I made to slip in there. And whenever the wheel well liner goes up in there, there's about, I say about an inch of clearance from the wheel well liner to hitting that bracket. But that was the simplest thing I could come up with. I might go ahead and take measurements and send it out and have it professionally cut out. I'm not sure yet. If not, I'll go ahead and have this one sanded down and spray it black. But not too bad for coming up with something just off the top of my head. It seems to be pretty sturdy when it's in there. I might go ahead and notch it out for where that nut is. Yeah, it's not too bad. I might end up having those on my website potentially. I know that 2019 and newer Whirly Custom Fab has the kits that mount back there, and you can keep your battery. Me personally, I kind of like this one more because it's more open in here and gives me more room for activities and maybe eventually 2 turbos, possibly 3 turbos. But I still needed to run the coolant lines, and I think with my coolant lines I'm gonna be able to run around here and smoothly tuck them up into the bottom of that tank. But it's mounted up with 3 Allen head 5/16 by 18 bolts, and then the top one is a little bit smaller. I can't remember exactly what the top one is. I think it's I want to say it's a M8, I believe. I don't know, don't quote me on that. The top one's small, but that is what we have so far. Still waiting on parts to show up to finish all that, and then we will move on to some other stuff. But once that's done, the battery's done, I'm either going to dive in and do the valve train, or I'm going to dive in and start working on the fuel system. But to do the fuel system, I'm probably going to go ahead and pull the intake horn, which is not very fun to do on this truck at all because of this intake horn is off of a 4th gen, and I don't know if it's different with the 5th gens, but the clearance to that injector line, it's a big pain. So I'm trying to think what else I gotta do here. Pretty much that's it, I believe. I might try to clean up some miscellaneous stuff under the hood, but it's probably going to end this video at least, and then whenever the parts come in, we're going to go ahead and come back out here and get the new parts on. One quick thing before I close out this video. This is the coolant tank, and these are the fittings that I actually have installed on the coolant tank. Now, these probably could work if I force the wheel well liner up inside there, but I don't want to force it up inside there.
Hey, that's what she said.
I think I'm just going to go ahead and take these out and put banjo bolts in here, -10 orb to -10 AN banjo bolts. I believe it should work. These fittings are recessed a little bit. That's the only thing I'm worried about. But if I can put those fittings in there, it should only come down to about right here, and that'll give me plenty enough clearance to get that tank in there and the wheel well liner back in there just like factory. But we will come back to that whenever the fittings come in. But until then, go ahead and subscribe, like the video, and we'll see you next one.